Hey veterans, back here with another video in our series on PTSD benefits and addressing what may be a misconception of some veterans. And perhaps you're not a combat veteran, and however you're having some mental health struggles, and perhaps you've received a PTSD diagnosis. And a question that sometimes comes up in those situations is, can I win VA compensation for PTSD if I'm not a combat veteran? And I'm here to let you know that yes, you definitely can secure PTSD benefits through VA, even though you may not be a combat veteran. It's a little bit different situation than in combat events, but again, it's definitely doable. It happens all the time. It's like any other sort of disability. Everything doesn't have to occur in combat to be compensable under VA's regulations. One thing to keep in mind, though, is if your situation is not combat related, you do need some what VA calls corroboration, and basically that's some supporting evidence that what you are claiming happened that caused your PTSD actually did happen. So you're going to need some other documents, some other witnesses, that sort of thing to establish what your version of events is. And again, if it's a non-combat situation, VA is not going to simply take your word for it. That's a special rule that we have in these types of non-combat PTSD cases. But again, what matters is really the sufficiency of the stressor event. And what I mean by that is when you make your PTSD claim, they're going to ask what stressful events led to causing that condition. And then it will be up to a psychiatrist, psychologist to determine whether that event, that stressful occurrence, was enough to trigger PTSD. And really that's not so much a legal question as it is a psychiatric, psychological type question for a doctor to answer. And so they will give their opinion as to whether the stressor event was sufficient enough to render a diagnosis of PTSD. If that answer is yes, it was sufficient, then you've met one of the steps to a PTSD rating with VA. So again, just because you may not have served in combat does not mean you cannot have stressful things happen during the course of your service, whether those are related to your service or actually personal in nature. And we may talk about that in a later video as well. But anyway, don't let VA deny your claim saying that you were not in combat and therefore not eligible for PTSD benefits through VA. So again, hope that makes sense. If you have questions, you can read more about this and other topics related to PTSD on our website, which is whenyourvetclaim.com. There you can, like I say, learn more. You can also schedule a free consultation with our firm. And if you like this, again, give it a thumbs up, share it, let somebody else know they may need to hear this message as well. So anyway, hope you liked it. Thanks. Have a great day.